So then LeBron James now says, quoting some rap lyrics, and says we getting that, I guess, the Jewish money or something like that, and we're keeping it kosher. And right off the bat, that can be seen as anti-Semitic, because a lot of people that are anti-Semites, one of their big things is that they see that as a negative. They say that it's real negative for society, blah, 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 Jews hold the wealth, this and that. Now, he gets to say that he didn't know any better. And he apologized. Oh, well, I didn't think it'd be this and that. And so what I find kind of funny is then why did Megyn Kelly get fired? Or why did she get raked over the coals for what she said? She could have easily said, and what's wrong? I think she said something like that too. What's wrong with a white woman dressing as Diana Ross? She's a fan of Diana Ross. She puts on a big afro or whatever, this and that, and I think it was Diana Ross. She gets to do that, and then everyone says, well, she's racist for saying that. Now, I find that kind of funny, and I've said this before on previous videos. I've always found it kind of funny that a lot of these groups that call themselves marginalized and stuff like that, they seem to not understand that you're elevating white people. You're elevating white people to some kind of awesome standard, because Megyn Kelly should have known better, but LeBron James doesn't know any better. So he can apologize and say he didn't know. I didn't know no better, boss. He could say that. But a white person can't say that they didn't know that was, and let that be a teachable moment. Nope. Now, I find that really funny. And this is what we always seem to do with when it comes to white people doing something and black people doing something. Black people can, or like I said, any other group, same thing with women, the way they do women. They'll say women make 88 cents on a dollar. They don't take into 80 something cents on a dollar as a man makes. They don't take in any of the controls, where personal decisions that women make, taking time off, blah, blah, blah. They don't take in any of those controls. But then they say that these women somehow just had no idea. They didn't know any better. So they didn't have any choice on what they chose, on the fields they chose to go into. They didn't have any choice for that. Absolutely not. They didn't know any better. They were just a doe-eyed woman, and she didn't know any better. The same with college campuses, where they talk about if two people are drunk, have sex, a woman comes out and says, "Hey, yeah, he raped me." Yeah, the man was the only person that actually knew what the hell was going on. They're both drunk. Man's the only thing because this woman she had no idea. She was, what am I doing here? Same with this situation. When you keep giving in to different people, you do not make a strong group. When you give in to every demand, every call of racism, every call of sexism, you do not do it without not raking this person over the coals, but calling to the questions. Okay, so what exactly happened, or what did you do? When you don't do that, and you just give in to the demands of whatever group, you're not doing that group any favors. What they're doing with LeBron James on this, they're not doing him any favors. That's not fair. And like I said before, it raises the white person, which is a lot of times that is the case. It raises them to a higher power, because that's what you do with children. If your 2-year-old draws all over the wall, you say, man, that really sucks. You might give a little pat on this and that and this, and you say, God, boy, this kid, or you even put paint up that you can just wash it right off, because you already know this kid's going to do something like that. But when your 16-year-old does it, there's a problem. Because the 16-year-old is more responsible, smarter, understands things. But this is the way they treat minorities and marginalized groups. They treat us like we don't know any better, and we do. But the white man, or sometimes it just depends on which way they can use it. The white woman just they know everything, and they know better, way better than that lowly minority. This is what the far left thinks about you. The same thing with, I'll bring in one last thing, the same thing with illegal immigration, when they yell and say, well, who's going to clean your toilets? Who's going to mop your floors and wash your dishes? There's a book by a name Jason Riley, when he says, there's a book when he talks about, it says, please stop helping us. Look that book up. It's a dang good book. It talks about liberals and how they're well-meaning, but in the big, in the macro sense, they're really hurting the group that they say they want to help. Anyway, that's my thoughts on this. Comment, like, share, subscribe, and all that, and we'll see you in the next one. All right.